How we doing, YouTube? Stevie here. Oh, this will be, when am I uploading this? The 13th, Tuesday morning. I'm recording it the night before. I just recorded a video just a few minutes ago. That's why I got the same color shirt on. It's the exact same shirt. But I'll upload this one in the morning. Yeti, if you'd like to sponsor me, feel free. My Yeti cup. They keep ice all day. At least mine do. I have good luck with them. Anywho. Oh, what was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. Over the road. The problem with over the road driving. And I think this has really, really changed. I started driving truck in 1985. That's when I'm going to roll up this window because I don't know how loud that truck is over there. I got my first trucking job in that, right about that time of year. I was still in high school. It was a part-time job. Hauling grain and stuff like that. Locals kind of stuff, just farm stuff. And then I joined the military that same year. And a truck driver in the military as well. Army Reserve unit. Not far from my house. And that was, like I said, that was as a truck driver. And I have a lot of other jobs in between. But primarily, it's usually 75% of my jobs have revolved around the logistics world. And most of it has been driving. I had a few jobs here or there that wasn't, but for the most part, that's what it's been. And now there's a lot of really good things about now compared to back then in the 90s and early 2000s. Of course, the two things that just jump right out at you is cell phones and GPS. You don't have to watch the DAT board. There used to be, you young guys won't know this, but there used to be a screen in the truck stop that was the DAT board. And it would scroll all the local loads. And you would have to, you'd see a load that you liked up there, and then you would have to write it down on a piece of paper, the phone number of the broker. And then you'd have to use a phone card. Usually they had phones at the table at the truck stop. Then you'd have to use a payphone, and you had minute cards. You could buy minutes for phone use, and you'd have to call the broker that way. And then in terms of directions, you either had to use your map or you had to use call the receptionist, who was usually a lady, and sometimes give exceptional directions. Quite often they had them written down for them. So if you're coming in off of this way, then they just read the script. And now some of the girls give exceptional directions. Some of them not so much. And a lot of times you knew you were in trouble if they would not give you street names as much as they would give you turn at the drugstore or turn at the Walmart, or and it wasn't east or west, it was left or right. But they did the best they could. So then that was two things that compared to now are just light years ahead of what it used to be. And it just makes the job so much easier. But since I'm halfway through now, we'll get to some drawbacks. I'll make another one of these videos later, but some of the drawbacks are that truckers were always, don't fall for the myth that it was all a brotherhood and everybody looked out for each other and all of that kind of stuff, because that's not exactly the truth. Trucks would notch you, they'd swerve at you on the road. There was a lot of bad drivers back then, no doubt. And like I said, they would notch you if they could. Not everybody, of course, but people would. So that hasn't changed. One thing that really has changed, though, is the volume of bad drivers. Partially, probably because a lot of them are foreign, so they haven't grown up on our streets and, doing our, like somebody that's born here knows kind of how things go. They're just learning. Now, I've seen some foreign guys that were exceptional drivers. I've seen them in truck stops or parking lots or whatnot, and they whiz bang around just like any old pro you'd ever hope to, want to drive one of your trucks for you. So this isn't categorically like over 100% of them, but there's a large percentage that are not good drivers. And I don't think they particularly care to be good drivers. They just want to make as much money as they can and get back to wherever it is they came from. Which, to be honest with you, I don't really blame them. If you can make 3 times as much money here than you can at home, why wouldn't you want to come here and drive? Stack some cash, then go back there and live your best life. So that's one of the drawbacks, is the bad foreign drivers. I'm going to say the second, and this is the toss-up, but we're going to go the second and third thing. You could flop these either way. ELogs. And ELogs are there's a good thing and a bad thing about ELog. The good thing about ELog is they're very simple, and as long as you do it way you're supposed, as long as you do it like you're supposed to, and do it as you go, when you will never have to worry about getting any kind of a violation on logs. It'll make sure that you do it the way you're supposed to. That is the good thing. So I don't know how anybody have a logbook violation anymore. Just for a mistake. The other thing that's bad about them, though, is you don't get any fudge time. If you need, 15 minutes to get to a parking place or a truck stop, you can't get it. The old days you could fudge a little bit and make it work. You can't do that anymore. But this is the worst thing. I'm going to do it quick because we're almost out of time. The worst thing about trucking nowadays is the amount of time shippers and receivers expect a truck to wait to get loaded or unloaded. They have no issue at all letting you sit for 2 or 3 hours to get loaded or unloaded. And these big mega carriers, even the mid-sized carriers like ARCA here, they don't care if you sit there for a couple hours. They've done all the calculations. They know how much that truck cost them for the month. They know how many hours you're going to run. They've got it all figured out. And that you sit there, they could care less that you sit there. That it burns up your clock, they could care less, because they're looking at the totality of the month or the year. And they want that load. They could care less if they want that load for that rate per mile, the efficiency of the truck. And you're just a cog in the wheel, no different than the transmission or the steering wheel of the truck. You're just a cost of doing business. And they don't think of you as anything other than just a piece of equipment. Don't let them kid you and think that you're part of the family. You are not. So those are a couple good things and a couple bad things about over-the-road truck driving. And so we'll talk again soon. God bless everybody. Hope everybody has a great week.